Hey everyone, this is Chris, and you're listening to One Cross Radio. And today we are joined by five. Wait, no, damn it.
Learn to count, Chris.
We're off to a fantastic start.
Just copy and paste the like, just continue and then copy and paste that into where that.
I'm very tired. We are joined by four awesome gentlemen. To my immediate left, Darko.
Oh hi. Oh hi, Mark.
Oh hi. As always, the vernacular Mike Knowles.
Vernacular?
Yes, vernacular.
All right. Hello, everyone.
I don't think that's...
I don't think that applies.
The outstanding Jimi Hendrix.
His new album, Jimi Hendrix.
Christian, how you doing, buddy?
Okay, thanks.
And Tommy, it's been a while. You weren't able to be here for the last one.
It has been a while. Everybody got a nice intro except for me.
I'm so sorry. Well, that's what you get for missing the last one.
I was just going to say, I feel bad about that. Yeah. Made such a big stink with everybody getting together for this one.
Well, I had to work. There's
sure, you did.
Well, we all had to work. That was why we're here. That's why it's Saturday. And we're
No, I had to work on a Saturday.
Oh no, that's 7 a.m.
Yeah, that is unreasonable.
What's funny is while you guys were out on the porch, Mike and I were talking. I was like, I think the last time the five of us were together was that time that drunk guy tried to fight you guys, and then Darko was like, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts." I think that was like the day I told you guys I proposed to Jill or something. So it's been a while since the five of us have been together.
Really?
Yeah, seriously.
I don't even remember that night.
It's always been like
I was the drunk guy.
incarnation.
Just kind of talking to himself.
What did you spike your drink with at Pizza Hut, man? Like, I think we went from Pizza Hut to McDonald's and then to Mike's house.
Darko carries it with him all time.
Man.
He's just ready to. He's just ready
One
to
of
pour.
those belt buckles that's really a flask, and he just.
Yeah, exactly.
So as is pretty clear,
I'd like
we
to.
have no planned topic for today.
So we've never done a podcast with all five of us?
No, this is the first time.
Yeah.
First time it was myself, Mike, you, and Tommy. Second time it was us and Darko. Tommy was working, so this is the first time it's the five of us. So this is the first time I've had five friggin' people on my podcast, including myself because I can count.
I've established this and demonstrated it. It's a skill I possess.
I passed math.
This is not the fifth take of trying to count.
I'm trying to count with Chris Cook.
That's his new show. Trying to count.
Tune in next week for the brand new podcast,
Dude, that would be-
Learning to Count.
Like the first episode. 4.
Come on!
One.
You're gonna institute,
Tune in next week for 2.
Trying to count.
you're gonna institute a bleep on this one?
Oh,
I was going to bring a squeaker, but I didn't have one.
You can't predict that. The guy's a maniac.
He's a loose cannon.
He's a loose
I want his badge and his gun.
and his sunglasses.
Imagine gun that weren't registered. Not
Here's my badge and my gun. Where'd you get those from?
I chose the count.
I never worked here.
First of all, I didn't ask you for those. No, wait. First of all, where did you get them?
So before we get down the rabbit hole that we always do, I'm just going to toss it out there. Guys, what did you think of Avengers Endgame?
Loved it.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen
What?
it? So this is going to be full of spoilers for you.
I loved the ending.
It seems like
the statute of limitations is over.
Yeah, no, it's...
Statute.
Yeah, it's been
It's not a
released in the theaters
statue.
twice.
one. It's the Statue of Liberty.
They're vis-a-vis statute of limitations.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been released in the theaters twice. So
Concordant.
anybody who hasn't seen it, I mean, it's fair game.
It is fair.
It's not fair game. It's endgame. They keep telling me that.
Fair endgame, yes.
So are you good with... we're about to spoil this.
Oh, I don't
for you
care
now.
about spoilers.
No, let's not
I guess I'm more or less like I just don't care.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
About the movie in general.
yeah.
Fair. No, that's a...
Welcome to my world.
You're just a lot less sassy about it than he is.
Yeah. What? No.
We're gonna break it down real
Okay.
Great job.
Educate me.
hard.
I'm not one to make a peep in a theater during a movie. I usually tell people to shut up.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
Yeah. But
You'd think.
in that final battle, I was like, yeah!
Yeah,
like when Cap gets Mjolnir,
Oh.
fist pumped and yeah, and I
Yeah,
was
me
pumped.
too.
I was totally pumped because I've been waiting all these movies for him to finally lift that hammer.
Yeah. When I heard Sam Wilson say "on your left,"
Well, yeah,
I cried.
That
A
was
tear rolled down my eye.
Yeah.
that battle was about to happen, but I forgot that Hulk had snapped and everyone had come back already. So
Yeah.
I hear on your left, like, oh yeah,
That's right.
we're gonna get down to business.
Yeah, because I was sitting there looking at Cap, staring down this army, and I was like, "Oh, this is how Cap dies." And then all of a sudden, on your left, and I was just like,
Like, oh right, yeah. And then, like, I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, really. I'm okay with it. Yeah. But like, I saw him, like, everyone was coming in and the Spider-Man swung in last, and I'm like, Spidey! I was so pumped.
Yeah, it was really good.
Did you guys read the prevailing fan theory, like up to and leading into that movie, which was
No.
that Thanos dies in the beginning.
Oh.
And then the rest of the movie is them trying to figure out like the time paradox and how to travel through time, which was a more interesting approach.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So there was the fan theory, and I was like, I really hope that's true, like, because that would be a much more interesting movie than, again, dealing with like 75 9/11s. It's more localized. It's more like that's an interesting story.
I tried to.
That's what it was.
I try to stay away from the fan theories before. Just most of the time, that stuff interests me. But I'm like, I just want to go in, like, clean slate, enjoy this as much as I can. I had that Friday off, so before Jill and I went while she was at work, I watched Infinity War. I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm good to go. And then Thanos dying in the first like 10 friggin' minutes of the movie.
I gasped.
What?
Yeah, I legitimately gasped. I was like,
Like, I had expectations for the flick. That was not one of them. For some reason.
loved Fat Thor. That was like my favorite thing about
It was
Thor's
funny at
character.
first, but I wished he had thinned down and become godlike again.
I don't know, like I just love like when he gets into the battle and he gets his armor and he's still fat. I was just like,
He was full on Viking.
That was
See,
great.
I
loved it.
When that part happened, I was like, wow, they're really going different with this. But I get it because he's
he's super depressed.
oh yeah,
He's
like,
he's the reason everybody's dead.
full on post traumatic. Dude
Yeah.
was into like it was.
If he'd just gone for the head in the first place,
Yes.
Yeah.
none of that would have happened. But no, he had to drive it in his chest, and he had to like tell him that I told you I was going to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, his hubris.
I'm
That was his hubris
Like,
was
your
was
arm.
what doomed the world or the universe.
Yes. I'm really hoping
Probably
that
does.
Noob Master 69 is Deadpool. That would be awesome.
Oh yes,
That would be
amazing.
really awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be such a great callback when they bring him in.
Yeah, it's really going to be interesting because now that Endgame's happened, it was upon us, and then it was upon us again, and soon it will be upon us for the third time because the Blu-ray and DVD drops at the end of the month, which is friggin' this week. So can't wait. I have no idea where I was going. I lost my train of thought. Like,
It's been nice. Let's go home.
Cover up.
but oh yeah, because I did that. Yeah.
like a
Listener, you
toddler.
can't see just because Christian's laughing at my beard is long and bushy enough that I can push it in front of my mouth.
I enjoy that so
Darko.
We have the edit button. We have a Darko button right here. It just auto edits for you.
No, it doesn't. I have to listen to this whole thing.
I wanted to sit here while it happens at me.
Didn't say anything inappropriate.
That's
It has to
right.
happen to be again.
You have to listen.
Darko's just talking about landscaping.
Yeah.
It's a summer job.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what the next phase is. Like they've announced through San Diego Comic-Con, but it's
It's only 2 years worth of movies that they announced.
yeah.
It didn't look. I saw the list of movies and I was genuinely surprised that they're going to be spending time and money making movies about these characters. Like these are all going to be huge, like budget movies.
Yeah.
And I actually wonder if there is enough. I mean, I'm certain there'll be enough of a draw where they'll make their money back, but nowhere near as much as like your staples like Iron Man or Captain America or what have you.
I actually didn't see the lineup from San Diego Comic Con.
So
Something I missed. I did not catch up on it.
a
Doctor
lot
Strange and the
Multiverse of Madness,
Madness.
which Wanda will be a big part of.
Yes. There's Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
Yeah,
It's cool because it's a proper Mandarin.
yeah, the proper Mandarin. But with Doctor Strange and Wanda, they're like what they've said is what happens to Wanda in the show, like WandaVision, will really impact where she's at in the movie, where I'm like, oh, cool, it's really cool to see the friggin' shows being really intertwined with the movies. Because like the Netflix ones, the advantage of them was they're small, they're local. It's like, cool, I'm taking care of friggin' Hell's Kitchen in Harlem, like, I don't need a Chitauri to show up, although that would have been awesome.
Yeah, like when they said, "Is this everybody?" I'm sitting there like, no,
Daredevil's not there.
Where is Charlie Cox?
Yeah, it would have been really cool to see the Netflix characters show up, but at the same point, I think that would have been a little fan service too many. Like, what would Daredevil do in that situation? It's like, okay, cool,
we're fight like everybody else.
We're getting that quick. We're getting
hallway, and he'll
mess some people up.
We're getting the quick clip of him like ninjaing people, but like Iron Fist might have done a little bit. Punisher, it's like, okay, cool, he's just mowing down people.
Well, I mean, they missed the opportunity to bring them in for Infinity War. Then they would have had something to do in Endgame. You know what I mean? Like, they could have just been snapped away and then brought back and then come out of those out of the tunnels.
As much as I loved those characters and I wanted them there, I don't know if there would have been a natural way to put them in the story. Like, friggin' at points, people were like, "Where's Sharon Carter?" I was like, "There's no place for her in this." Like, what the heck would she do?
She's not a superhero. But when you're talking about somebody like Luke Cage, who's got indestructible skin, he would have been very useful in that battle.
With everybody else in the movies, there were because they had established the relationships, it was like, okay, there's a natural ebb and flow to them being here. It's not like they're forced in the story.
It could have even just been Tony Hawk had hurt, or Tony Hawk.
He just comes and does it.
It could have even just been that Tony Stark was aware of
does a backflip gainer and
really mean kickflip.
He is who took out Thanos.
Yeah, just like how Stark was aware of Spider-Man swinging through the streets.
That's fair.
He could have just been aware of Luke Cage and the things that they were all doing in their respective neighborhoods. And just called upon them for help too.
That's fair.
Daredevil should just show up in a Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, no,
100%.
That'd be perfect.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Now that Spider-Man is public enemy number one,
Daredevil
or Matt Murdock should defend him. Defend Peter Parker.
Well, this is how you bring Punisher in too, because Punisher could be trying to hunt down Spider-Man.
Like there's I think
they're bringing in Kraven for that. But.
There's a really good GIF of that right now where it's Tom Holland being like, "I'm not Spider-Man," and then it cuts to the attorney and it's Matt Murdock just going like, "Thumbs up." But yeah, it's like Christian said, it's interesting because they're going outside of Doctor Strange and Black Widow,
which I'm not excited about. I'll watch it, but I'm not excited.
The number of most of the movies coming out aren't direct sequels or to pre-establish movie characters. So it's the first. I think I said with Steve on an episode, it's the first time since Phase 1 where it's like a relatively clean slate.
Yeah, introducing new characters, kind of showing you the new Avengers.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where they go. I'm still hoping eventually the big bad will be Galactus, because to me he's the next logical step.
Oh, it has to be. But I mean, you got to bring in
Doctor Doom.
You got to bring in a Fantastic Four before you can get there.
Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too.
Cap has gone and messed with the timeline. It's a perfect opportunity for Kang to come in, because that's when he always comes in. He says,
"True,
because Cap screwed up my timeline.
True,
and my wife died or something like that."
I've been playing a lot of Lego Marvel superheroes too, so I'm down for Kang. It works.
Kang's cool.
Yeah, Kang is cool. And if you haven't played Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, it's a fun game.
I like the theory that Cap didn't really mess with the timeline too much, and that this whole time he was Peggy's husband, but he didn't know it because he hadn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Because people were like, "Oh, she was married and had kids, and he went back. That's kind of selfish of him." But then there's the theory that it was him all along, because time is circular.
Oh, I was so happy in that ending.
I know.
Oh, yeah, me
Steve
too.
Finally
had a life.
Got to be with.
Yeah,
he had a good life. I thought he was going to die, right?
Yeah, so did I.
He had a good life.
Like I was thrilled with how it ended for Tony. Because I don't know.
Didn't come back.
I don't know how much more. I don't think there was really much more for Tony to do. They weren't going to do the alcoholic part yet. They weren't going to do the demon model thing. If they were, it would have been after
Iron Man 2.
They really could have leaned into it in Iron Man 3, but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And they could have done it in this movie, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So there's not much mileage left in that character. It's like we got him being the happy husband and father, but that would work for a movie, and then you're just retreading ground. And then Cap, happiest ending ever. Thrilled for that character. I legit was like, he's dead. He's going out this movie. You know what's happening. But I'm really excited for Phase 4. It's just, I think for the first time in a while, we're going back to smaller scale. So that'll be
well. You gotta hook people together with new characters. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I even if it's characters that I'm not really like aware of right now, like I'm not.
What's the name of the guy with the 10 Shang-Chi? I
I
have
have
no
no
idea who that is.
Yeah, I never heard of
But
it.
I didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy was either.
Yeah, no.
Get on my leg.
I had no idea. Like Shang-Chi, when I first heard of it, I was like, wait,
What
they're
is
doing a
this?
crossover with Mortal Kombat? Like Quan Chi is showing up? Like what? Yeah, like Christian, you good?
Yeah, I don't know how it got on his
I
leg.
don't know. I got my leg too.
There's a table in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can't have Phase 4 without the Fantastic Four. It's just it writes itself.
It's in the title.
Well, I don't think that's happening till Phase 5 though.
I think they've only announced the first half of Phase 4.
But
because it's like three
Kevin
movies,
Feige
four
did go
movies
on
that they've
record
announced.
to say that it was going to be about 5 years before they introduced the X-Men and everything.
They could still be in Phase 4 in 5 years.
Well, they've said they said with Phase 4, what they've announced is Phase 4 because they didn't include an X-Men movie or deliberately the Fantastic Four. But what they could easily do is roll out and hint at those characters in this phase before you get the
Via
flick.
post-credit scenes too.
Like with friggin' Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness or whatever it's called. Too many M's in the title. I'm just like, are you going to go House of M on this?
Well, that's what people have theorized. It's
Yeah.
that title is just a ruse, and it's going to be House of M. And
But
that's
instead,
how they're going to bring the mutants in.
But yeah, exactly. It's like because in the comics, House of M, Wanda decimated the mutant population down to like 100 or 150, whereas in the MCU right now there are no mutants
that we know of. Yes.
So then, that we know of. So it could easily be like she creates them. Like she
I also
creates
like the theory
mutants.
that the snap, the gamma radiation caused from the from the snap, could be what creates the mutants themselves.
Yeah, 3 snaps on Earth. Or 2?
2 snaps on Earth.
3 snaps on Earth.
Oh,
Because Thanos snapped, Hulk snapped, and Iron Man snapped.
Oh right, yeah,
3 snaps,
3 snaps on Earth. Sorry.
So that'll do it.
Fascinating.
So that to me, that's the perfect way to be like, these characters were here all along, but now they're mutants. Like, Professor X was always Professor X. He just didn't have telepathic powers.
Yeah, I don't really like that. I want him to be born like. I don't want him to suddenly like wake up one morning and say, "Oh, I can read minds."
Yeah.
I want it to be
See,
the
like-
proper.
I mean, that's fair. It's an easy way to.
But
to
if-
yeah, it's not like
explain
could do it.
If
but-
they were
why
gonna,
they weren't involved in
if
anything
they were
else.
going to go the route though of like the X-Men are ostracized while the rest of superheroes are worshipped.
Yeah.
That's the way they could do it.
That's true. That
Because
could
it's
work
like,
as well.
here's this person who we've always trusted, but suddenly he can read my mind.
yeah.
That's gonna put that cat's gonna be put at a distance. Or here's this person I always knew, but now she can walk through walls. How do I know she's not gonna rob a bank? Like if they want to go the ostracized route, which is always inherent in the X-Men, but I kind of hope they don't go that way right away because it's been done to death.
Plus, I mean, with such an existential threat as Thanos, even if they're ostracized, you would want those powers to help you out in beating Thanos. So that to me, like that wouldn't necessarily work.
Aren't Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, aren't they mutants?
In the comics they were. In the movies they
Were created with the
Mind Stone.
the Mind Stone.
Which is kind
And
of
they were
weird.
called
Why would the Mind Stone
They were called the Miracle Children. So, yeah,
That's just the experiments they were doing with it. I don't know.
ill-defined experiments just to get the characters in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
But
shame they killed him off so fast.
on a side note, when I saw Shazam, I was like, "Wow, this is the second time I'm seeing someone do someone with speed much better than they did Quicksilver in friggin' Age of Ultron or roughly a week of Ultron." So, the one time Fox did something better.
Yeah.
Yes. Shazam was an interesting one because that was. I find a lot of movies in that vein are going to horror directors like David F. Sanders, who directed Shazam. He wrote this like short Lights Out on YouTube. It like gained a ton of traction. It was like a horror short, and then he made a feature movie, and then went on to do Annabelle Creation and worked with James Wan, and now James Wan is involved in some.
He did
Aquaman, didn't
he did Aquaman.
Yeah. So I find it interesting that it's kind of horror directors like
Which there was one section of it where you're like, nope, he's shooting this like a horror movie. It was where the creatures from the Breach or whatever it was called, like they were there. It was like, this is shot like a horror movie, and this is really good.
Well, DC's got that that dark side to them, right? So
I think that it's so forced.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Christopher Nolan did a great job on this gritty Batman. Let's replicate that formula.
Yeah, that's...
they have no idea what they're doing over there. Which is why I'm excited that they brought in some of the Marvel writers. Because,
I think
you need people who know how to do it to do it right.
I think right now the DC EU is in like a minor mini reboot almost, just because they're really refiguring out their tone and everything. They're like, all right, the way too serious tone wasn't working and it was putting people off, but then suddenly jarringly doing Justice League the way we did it really put people off.
Oh yeah. Well, I think a lot of that has to do with Joss Whedon too. I think that's him being like, look, I know you're trying to catch up to Marvel, but you can't. You have to do it the right way. And
like, it
here's
really
the right
is
way,
two
and that's
different...
why they're resetting everything.
They didn't let Joss Whedon like really reshoot it. It was like,
no, he just had to work with what he had.
Dear listener, if you want a great insight to everything that went wrong with Justice League, I highly recommend, and I've mentioned them before, check out Hot Takes with Billy Business. There's an episode where he goes into all the problems behind Justice League, and there was so many more than I even remembered. Like, there's a lot of problems, but there's substantial behind the scenes issues. It was amazing that movie even got made. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
But I think DC's in a bit of a kind of minor reboot where we got Aquaman, which was what it was. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. That can kind of, to me, like be your starting point.
Yeah, but it still references what came before, and then Shazam does it better. Yeah. But Shazam so far to me is easily the best DC movie.
Yeah.
I think like Wonder Woman was really good. The first two acts were awesome.
It was bad.
I found the first two acts awesome. The third act it fell apart a bit.
Wonder
Woman 84 has got a really good chance.
About a powerful woman. She's supposed to be the most powerful woman in the world, and it's still a man is the reason why she does everything. Like she's still pining after Chris Pine's character. Like
so that's you.
So
I mean, I pine after him all the time, but it's just
that's in his name.
Yeah,
she's I don't know. To me, like she didn't need the love story, the love interest.
I disagree with you on that, though. Like that's something that's always been in the character, but that doesn't make her any less powerful. Like that, she has a love interest who she saves throughout the whole movie, and she constantly makes decisions against what he is advising her to do. She's not playing second fiddle to anybody.
I'm not saying she's playing second fiddle. It's just to me, like it was just you didn't need the love interest for her. It's become as powerful, because that's exactly what happens at the end. She sees him blow up, and then that's when she
well, because then she's lost. Like any person, though, man or woman, you lose someone you love in a big situation like that. It's going to force some clarity.
Yeah,
I just didn't like it.
Clarity, you mean the best.
So, but like, say she was a lesbian, would you like it then?
No, I didn't like the love story at all.
Like,
but love story that you said essentially that the character is being defined by, the man, right? The male.
Like she's being inspired.
But that's
but I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if it was a woman. I didn't like.
To me, that was like one moment in a 2.5-hour movie where at the end she's like, okay, maybe he was a little bit, maybe he was right about this instance, but the rest of the movie, she's the driving force of change. She's inspiring like 10 dudes. She's crossing the no man's land. Yeah. She is saving everybody.
Yeah, like fair.
They're saving, they're helping, but I would not say she is at all defined by Steve Trevor. But
Steve Trevor
is his name.
Got two first names.
What a chat.
Nice.
That's actually.
I still don't like. I still don't know very
good. I'm really interested in what Wonder Woman 84 is going to look like, especially because Steve's back, even though he did.
I think it's the Martian Manhunter.
It could be that.
That'd be cool.
I really want Martian Manhunter, man. Like. At times we've talked where it's like, do you even need a Justice League if you have Superman? It's like, no. Do you need Superman if you have Martian Manhunter? No, because he's Batman and Superman rolled into one.
Well, you do need a Justice League if you have Superman, because what if Superman goes evil? And then Batman...
Then Batman's got kryptonite and we're good.
Well, that's why you have the Justice League, man. You need the Justice League. It needs to be done right.
Justice League
we need the Green Lantern.
Just done well.
Yeah.
Bring back Jackie Childs for Martian Manhunter.
Oh, gosh.
You people are tease. It never ends.
And dead air.
I was like, so, what do you think of this music television?
Television. Well, I liked it when they played music videos on Jersey Shore.
Video killed the radio star.
Alright, so Christian, I'm going to put you on the spot here for a second.
Christian just tickled Mike's underwear.
In our first podcast, you at one point, as we were talking about Thor Ragnarok and the use of Led Zeppelin.
Does it Bedarius?
No, that was... that I still wanted it out because that was like so well snuck in. I was like, I can't cut around this. Kudos, bravo. No, at one point you started talking about how streaming services really screwed over the artist. You were very, very impassioned.
Really? I don't remember that. I have no opinions on that now.
Well, dang, I was about to ask you, can you unpack this?
All I do is stream music.
Unpack what? What's going on?
What I just said.
Oh, just that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, it's still happening. I don't see any solution to it.
Other than paying artists what they're due,
which they're not.
Yeah, no,
streaming
exactly.
services.
That's what I mean. Unless they're going to pay artists what the artists are due, but then all of a sudden we can't have a subscription for $9.99. Yeah, and it costs us like $100.
Well, I mean, it's just they could just take less of the profit for something that they didn't make.
Yeah, but we all know that they're not going to do that.
Yeah. Like Spotify generally operates on a 33% model, so artists only get paid out if more than 30 seconds of their song is played, and that's the point at which.
And even then, isn't only like point.
But how much are they being paid?
Like a tenth of a cent.
Like 100th of a cent.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like you had to, your song has to play like 8 million times for you to get.
So I guess this is an awkward time to inform you. Today's episode is sponsored by Spotify.
Cookies.
That's why you said. I noticed the phrasing of that. I'm going to put you on the spot, Christian.
No, we're sponsored by nobody. If anybody would like to sponsor us, though, let's work out a deal. Come on. Need some of that sponsorship money.
We need some of that sweet Spotify.
Send me some products. I will talk about them.
I will promote whatever you send me.
Yep. Butcher Box, if you're listening, I want some of that meat.
This tap water was quite good. Thank you, Hamilton.
Brought to you by the city of Hamilton.
Not only that, but streaming services are changing the way in which artists are writing music. So it's
have you seen that video?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's impacting how they get paid, which is nothing. And so then the artists are actually writing songs that are adaptive to that 33% model. So they're writing hooks closer to the beginning, where there used to be longer and more drawn out and expanded intros, where you get a build to that. Now it's just like immediately.
Yeah. Start off with the hook.
If there's no immediate gratification, it's just a skip button.
I saw a video essay that explained that, saying that they're writing songs that hook you immediately and have you not hit skip.
Yeah, so it's not just the artist that is impacted, but the whole kind of medium in the
composing, like popular composing, is about to be homogenized even further. Right.
And that's why songs are so boring nowadays. It's like 'cause they all have the same intro, and you have to look a lot harder and deeper to find the good ones.
It's not even, dude. Yeah, it's like some of these pop songs that I'm generally like I wouldn't be interested in. You know, as I've gotten older and I've recorded music myself and really put a lot of thought into like composing and arranging and how much effort it takes and production and stuff like that. And I listen to these songs and I'm like, this is like they're all almost too good. Like they're all like perfect.
They're polished.
They're perfect in like in a sense where like what a human being finds pleasing in regards to music. It's like they've tapped into every single aspect of that and they've just sort of like 3 minutes, bam, there you go, right?
Yeah, record companies have an algorithm.
It's almost
like country music.
It's almost like like they've designed software just to make music now, but it's it's just human beings who really know their stuff, right? It's fascinating. Like I was listening to like if you listen to like any of Taylor Swift songs or
I do enjoy some T Swift.
Yeah, like Shake It Off or Wrecking Ball. Like those are like really, really good songs, right? And people are like, oh, but they wrote them themselves. I'm like, no, but they really didn't. I mean, they were there. But they
might have been supervising.
They paid someone who does this for a living and then also the producer who, like the top songwriters, the top producers. And it shows. I mean, everything is literally, it's perfect. If you know, like, what hooks someone, right?
Right.
Like,
well, that's why I have so much respect for Lady Gaga, though, because she actually does write her songs, her music, like...
Yeah,
she's an impressive artist.
Yeah, well, so
unlike Miley Cyrus
to the same
Taylor
extent
Swift.
that Miley, like that. I'm sure they wrote like a chord and had an idea, and then the guy was like, "Well, you have to go to this chord next, or you should stop here and do this." Like I'm sure like it's all to one extent or another. Some like maybe Gaga goes further than that, but I mean like I seriously doubt that she has. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean,
will
clearly,
prove you wrong.
Evidently, she does work with professional songwriters.
Yes,
and to me, someone who's good enough at writing literally their only job is to write a song. And if they're working with someone like Lady Gaga or Adele or someone like that, then like, I mean, how much credit can you really give to the artist at that point? And this person, like, it's a buyer's market, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're like, oh, it's a pretty person with a good voice. Here you go. You know, it's like this person had to compete against every other person at the top of their game who does that. And what?
Max Martin. While we're on the subject.
And who is that?
Max Martin is he's the guy.
Why are you talking to me? How dare you?
Why are you wearing sunglasses inside?
Because nobody else can see it. Max Martin is the guy who's commissioned to write a slew of different pop songs. So he wrote "Hit Me Baby One More Time," a bunch of NSYNC songs,
the good stuff,
Backstreet Boys. Yeah, he wrote most of the pop songs by artists in the 90s. Yes.
It's crazy. I thought it was Seal.
Well,
writing all those songs. I thought it was Seal.
I miss Seal. Kiss from a Rose, man. The song was awesome.
Yeah, of course. So did Taylor Swift and...
No, I mean, like, she just takes an active role in doing it.
What's
she
really
her own tracks.
I'm sure they were in the studio the entire
like
time.
You get
that's the thing about a credit, right? Like if she was in the studio, she gets a credit. You can say, or she was there while he wrote the entire song, or she wrote the entire song. She'll get credit saying she was an active part because she literally existed in the same room as that song was written. So I mean, unless it's like
with her, it is different though because she is playing the instruments, right?
Because I was there and I saw the entire process. I know, like Miley Cyrus.
She's a tier above them.
Well, I mean, you're splitting hairs at that point. I don't really think it matters. I think they all basically like someone else is writing their songs and they're getting rich off of it, right? And they might have one like it wouldn't be as if you had written those songs, or if it were me. Right, and I produced them and wrote them and arranged them and everything. That's completely different, right?
Luna is checking in on us.
And even still, I would still 100% welcome the help of a professional songwriter. Oh, and I wouldn't be like, 100%. I write my songs. It's like, no, I had a lot of help because it's very difficult, and I'm proud of the work that we do.
It's interesting to hear this stuff just because I just listen to music. I don't write or anything like that. But at one point, like, I'm an unapologetic Will Smith fan. I enjoy the crap out of his stuff. It's so much fun.
I was listening to Big Willie Style the other day at work. You know what else I was listening to the other day at work? Snow's album from 2004.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about, like, a lot of money in professional songwriting and stuff like that? Whoever signed him for that album, they put so much money and effort into it. Like, that was a big, like, trying to catapult him into some sort of like
bringing him back.
Yeah, like, you know, a pop star who's like, it's like every song is like a different genre. They're like, well, I can do this and I can go here and I can do that.
Yeah,
dude, listen to listen to Snow's album from 2004. I can't remember what it's called, but it's you'll totally get what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
Is it called Whiteout?
It might have been Whiteout, yeah, or something like that.
Blizzard.
Not. Here, I'm gonna look it up.
Really cold outside.
but
oh my. Is it Snow Patrol?
No, it's not Snow Patrol. I was like, it should have been though. But like I'm an unapologetic Will Smith fan. I love his stuff from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince days. Like it was very much like he wrote his stuff then.
Yeah.
And even in his poppy days, where I'm like, I got no doubt that you wrote it. But it's really interesting because like a year or two ago, he's starting to do a little more stuff in the studio, and he's very active on his YouTube account. He released a not a freestyle, but just like a song where they were goofing around in the studio. I was like, man, this is really good. But then you'll find interviews with him, and they're like, are you going to do another album? He's like, I don't know if there's albums anymore. Like, it just seems to be singles, where that seems to be the emphasis. So, but that's also
lots of albums.
That's also what he's been doing over the past while. Like he hasn't been actively involved in music since 2006.
He's probably making a lot more money.
In the movies. But as he's showing up, he's just on singles. So
Mind on the Moon.
Mind on the Moon.
Also, one of his albums called 12 Inches of Snow.
Yep.
Nice.
That was the first one.
Informer.
Will Smith's son is just the worst.
Oh, he's the worst person in the world.
Will Smith's son.
Oh, Jade. Yeah, Jade.
If I was Will Smith, I'd be single. Never mind. Whoa. It was gonna be funny. But I'm pretty sure you would have censored me. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Hey,
I would be embarrassed.
I would disown him.
Yes. Oh, that Batman song? Are you kidding me?
Batman.
What?
You guys aren't aware of the rap that he did?
No.
But Batman. Oh.
No.
You guys
are so lucky.
He wore the white Batman
costume
to Kanye and Kim Kardashian's wedding. And when asked why, he was like, "I just felt like I had to protect everyone there." Like this, I think this is like a 16-year-old boy. Like seriously, man.
You had something about mirrors. Was like, if we look in mirrors, are we really seeing ourselves?
Yeah,
it was a lot worse than that.
Yeah, no, like he thinks he's deep and existential, and he's really just an idiot.
Or he's like,
or he really could just be like taking the crap out of all of us.
Or
just
like,
roll with it.
If I wasn't
Andy Kaufman thing,
yeah.
If I wasn't Will Smith's son, or what did he say about being Will Smith's? Basically, it translated to like, someone said, imagine being so privileged that you think being Will Smith's son is like hurting you, is handicapping you or something, right? Like being like, you guys would take me seriously if I wasn't just the son of the Prince of Bel-Air. And it's the delusion, man. It's like Trumpian levels of delusion. Like it's
he's so infuriating.
I almost need to have a cigarette. Just thinking about it. Like I'm getting worked out.
Do you think do you think just like it'd be better if people could self-produce?
They do.
Like I know,
and they do it very well.
Well, like I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
If you're me, you don't.
Yeah. So,
I don't understand.
Like Boney Bear.
Well, like I know. Like Metallica is at the point where they own all their old music, which is why they used to go Napster. Hi, Luna. Hello. But they Lars went at Napster, and then they're looking at it as like protecting a future investment. Sorry, Luna's giving us all the kisses.
Lars is like the worst person ever.
Yep.
And he's not even that good. He's like, dude, there's so many other drummers that are better than him. He's not even like, he's a good drummer. He's a bad drummer,
He's
man.
not even the best drummer in Metallica.
No, he's not. It's a really, like, as funny as that is, it's because it's true.
Yeah. The thing I will give that guy credit for, though, is he can be a giant jerk, but he also recognizes it, and then at points he will take the crap out of him. Like he'll be like, "No, make fun of me. I deserve it." Like an example being, you can find funny videos online of like after a concert, he's going like trying to get to the airport to leave, and someone's coming up to him with their drums, and they're really excited to meet him, and then he's just joking around with them. He's like, "Hey, let me show you something. Learn from me. If you want to almost kill your career."
Come on, man.
Luna is climbing the table. But she'll be like, he'd be like, if you want to almost kill your career, just do this, and then like unfastening the drum just to make the Saint Anger sound. Like I'll give him total credit. He goes in the heat of the moment, like acting like an idiot, but then later he'll be like, "Yeah, no, I was an idiot." He'll own up to it. He doesn't try to sugarcoat that he can be an idiot. So I'll give him respect for that.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've seen Some Kind of Monster, right?
Yeah.
How is he not a sociopath?
When
you look at James Hetfield, like the stuff he did to him and the way he played it, like he gaslit him.
Yeah.
And, like man.
Oh yeah, no.
That guy should be hurt or imprisoned or something. He's a bad person, man. Bad person. I don't know. I need to have a cigarette about it. Jane Smith. Why are we bringing up the worst people in the world?
It's interesting how these are the worst people in the world. When
you better not talk about Donald Trump on gun. I have things to say about that.
We all know
I really avoid American politics. I think we should, because we can make a whole podcast about that. And believe me, if we start to talk about it, I will make the whole podcast about that.
Hardcore history.
So about Donald Trump.
I swear.
He's such a maniac that I bet he would hear it too.
Nobody. I'll be sorely disappointed. Somebody tell me. Darko, you tell me if they start talking.
Sure.
I don't trust Darko. Like, you tell me. Tell me if Darko doesn't. Chris, if neither of them tell me, you tell me no. I will find out.
It's a perfect system.
Go get it.
It's a perfect system.
This has been derailed.
Yeah.
That should be the podcast name. Derailed.
Derailed? That's what this episode is called.
Derailed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I need to lay down.
Oh, Mike's got the itis.
I think itis. That's a pretty racist term.
Is that really?
Yep.
How? Like, legitimately, I'm actually confused. I do not know any racial origins of this term.
Really reaction to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. No. This is me being surprised.
Itis is a term that African Americans used back in the day when they were too full to express how full they were, and then it became appropriated.
Oh,
That way.
I see.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the more you know.
Is this on pause?
No, it's not. I legit did not know. It wasn't. I wasn't trying to do like a Clerks 2 thing there.
I don't remember anything from that movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
Porch Monkey.
yeah,
A little, yeah.
yeah, that scene.
We're taking it back.
Brilliantly written scene. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what's something y'all are excited for, or what's
Go to bed tonight.
what's aside from Endgame? What's some of the movies you've enjoyed that have come out lately, gentlemen?
Yesterday was okay.
Yeah.
It had a very nice scene.
I haven't seen that one.
Towards the end. Everyone seems to be talking about.
I'm really looking forward to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No.
I haven't either. I'm probably not going to.
I was telling Mike the Varsity, which you're nowhere close to, at Babe Blur is playing it in 70 mil. So I'm going on Sunday.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Just
I woke up so early, I lost track of our days.
Yeah, I have no idea what day it is.
Yeah, no, the days are bleeding together. I got like 5 hours sleep last night.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. One guy I like listening to a lot on YouTube is Jeremy Johns.
Okay.
He didn't go into spoilers because he waits till the movie's released to the general public. So he'll do a non-spoiler review and then a spoiler review. He said it was a good movie, but not Tarantino's best.
Okay.
And he was like, it's not one I need to see more than once. Yeah, Tarantino's in a interesting spot in his career now.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of flack.
A lot lately.
For good reason. Ever since Kill Bill. On how he treats or mistreats female co-stars.
Well, the
right?
the Uma Thurman thing.
Which he made a half apology for. But I think he strikes me as a total on set. Really, he's definitely a power tripper for sure.
Well,
he's like a Tarantino glorifier. He definitely basks in his fame, right? I think he loves it. Now, part of that is I think he's earned the right to brag because he makes really good stuff, but at the same time, that stuff can be pretty traumatizing.
It's interesting with him just because one of the things, for better or for worse, you can admire with Tarantino is he really sticks to his guns.
Sure, yeah.
Like with him, if anybody tries to bring up anything where it's like, well, do you think you have a responsibility about violence and stuff? And he's like, no, I'm making a movie. That's it.
Yeah. Through the lens of what of violence from his perspective.
Right.
Right. I think.
Mike, are you gonna go lie down?
I'm gonna go lay down.
Oh my gosh.
Tired. I'm really tired.
All right, so Mike just left. Yeah, you can see a clip online where someone's like,
yeah, the interview with
where he's
I can't remember his name, but he.
Oh yeah, no, but also recently because at a premiere where it's like the whole cast
for Once Upon a Time,
and then the
reporter
asked like how are you gonna have Margot Robbie be in this movie so little, like, isn't that
have her dialogue be so compressed, right?
Yeah, and then just the out and out I reject your hypothesis. I'm like,
that's what I don't like about him. I don't like that he.
I do and I don't, just because it's almost like there needs to be the conversation
for sure. Yeah,
but I also like that and I'm not saying that this woman did that, but also there can be some browbeating, there can be the cancel culture, there can be the pushing, the bullying, and all that. And I respect the fact that he's not down for that. He's not going to be pushed around. He's not going to be pushed into saying something oh no, this is part of a narrative, where he's like, no, I didn't design it that way. Mm-hmm. Margot doesn't feel that way. I'm not going to let you talk about me that way.
Mm-hmm.
I respect that he stands his ground for himself, so I respect that, but I think there should be some willingness at the same time to engage a bit, but...
Yeah, hell, he doesn't have to explain himself.
No.
I've noticed this tendency that he has towards just shutting things down, like that interview that he did where the interviewer asked him about, violence in his movies and why it's such a running theme, and he said something to the effect of, I've answered this question multiple times, I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm shutting this interview down. And
now, what's interesting with... I don't know if it might be that interviewer, though. Like, I can't remember his name, but...
I know, yeah.
That guy has shown up a couple of times where...
And people are
pressing.
Yeah.
Like, there was Robert Downey. But he handled that so well.
Yeah.
Because there was there's a YouTube series where it's like, how to be... Oh, that's Luna, sorry. How to be charismatic or whatever. And it's like, here's a way to study it where someone's pressing you and how you can likably shoot it down. Where, like, Robert Downey at first questions it, like, doesn't jump to any presumption. Like, I'm not assuming what you said, even though I think you said what you said. And then gives him a warning shot.
Sure, yeah.
But still doesn't press it. And then as the guy's doing it, that's when he's finally like, what are we doing? Like, what? And then just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, Robert Downey really handled that well.
Yeah. He's like, I appreciate the View theme you have going on, or like something to that effect.
Yeah, but I'm not.
And he just like stands up and he's like, unmic me.
Yeah, like I'm out. He handled it very, very well. But it's we're in an interesting time where, like, just it's I think there always are two sides to stories. Just some cases lately where people who have been accused of things are now releasing their statements in rebuttal.
Yeah.
And I think that should be heard. And you can hear it without necessarily taking a side.
Sure.
But I think it's good, but it also makes things very complicated because it really is encounter to a lot of things now where it's like once you hear it's like, oh, this person's been accused of that, you don't listen to them, you don't give them the time of day.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where I like
he really does have the itis.
That's where I like that Tarantino, like I said, I can respect Tarantino for just shutting it down because he's like, no, I'm not going to be pushed into that. Because I'm not that.
Why is he sleeping?
He'll thank me later. Tired.
And no, we did not talk about American politics.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
Liar.
No.
I was gonna pop in halfway this one. Go Trump.
No, we were talking about Quentin Tarantino.
I've heard amazing things about his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, it looks so good.
It's his best movie, if not better, than Pulp Fiction.
I have not heard
that.
You're
going to see it tomorrow.
From him and other people.
Are you animated down for seeing it tomorrow?
Oh, no, man.
I gotta move tomorrow.
Yeah, he's gotta move. Tomorrow's like my weekend.
Yeah, I know.
You'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
You and Matt and Stu and...
Yeah, they're gonna help us bring stuff down.
You guys will be fine.
And I got like 8 boxes and a TV. That's about it.
Okay. I'm just tired all
I don't have a lot of stuff either.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that, and then like
what
how you were here.
I stepped outside.
No, like Tarantino getting
yeah.
He'll stand firm on stuff for better or for worse, but then we got into the topic of how like there are two sides to every story.
Sure.
Recently, like a guy who had been accused of something came out with a video being like, no, this is false, this is malicious. He's showing text messages and all that, where I'm like, okay, you can even still not agree and support the original line of events, but it's a good reminder, like, there are two sides to every story. Not everybody who comes forward is being honest.
Talking about Chris Hardwick? Because he was getting steamrolled.
No, well, he's a recent example of someone like who was really set up and then showed evidence to the contrary. But the one I'm low-key referencing is Andy Signore this past week released a 20-minute video being like, the person who accused me of lying, basically. So I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's easy. Sorry, we're laughing because Luna's climbing the couch where Mike is lying down.
He's all up in his business.
Literally relentless.
On the couch with him.
Just accept it.
No, where it's like he released a video basically saying like, no, I did terrible things, but I didn't do what she said I did. And then he was showing text messages and emails as evidence to back his story.
Get out of here.
Like, we're not there, we're not involved, we're also not the law, so I don't think we should always jump to the side of the person accusing, or to his side suddenly being like, well, as a lot of people have, being like, I knew she was lying, like, get her! Where it's like, no, we're not there, hopefully the truth will eventually come out. Like,
yeah, the truth is always somewhere in between. Like,
yeah.
Well, I don't like people who
you can also you can easily pick and choose stuff to support your point.
Yeah.
Anybody can, but false accusations happen.
Yeah.
Like,
wait, what does this have to do with Tarantino?
No, it just came out because someone went at. No, we just went down the rabbit hole, man.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of, another movie I'm excited about, Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer.
I have no idea what that is.
It's Taika Waititi's new movie.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm sold.
But
I gotta hear Taika Waititi, and I'm sold.
He is playing someone's fictional best buddy version of Adolf Hitler.
It is about a young German boy who discovers a Jewish girl living in his attic and then consults with his imaginary friend, Adolf Hitler.
All right.
The trailer looks amazing. I'm super excited.
I haven't seen
nothing he's done has been this for me.
Yeah, he's a genius. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm starting. I can feel like an old man.
It's a little cringeworthy. It's a little cringeworthy. But
man, it's gonna take I'm gonna like it, but it's gonna take energy to like this.
Good, as it should.
Yeah,
I think
too many movies are a passive experience.
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I found for me, as I've gotten older, I used to not that I won't enjoy that, I'm sure I will, but I used to enjoy stuff more where it's like, no, it makes you think, it makes you do all this. Whereas now I'm like, you know what, at times I'm just down for like, give me the popcorn, give me the monsters fighting. Godzilla King of Monsters was friggin' amazing. I want to watch The Rock like pull down a helicopter because it's stupid but it's fun. I'd much rather be in. It's why I don't really watch documentaries all that much. People are like, oh, have you watched this? Have you watched this? I'm like, unless it's about sharks or making movies. Like, I get enough of real life sucking from the news and my work.
Yeah.
So I want to be entertained.
Yeah,
that's not to shoot down what you're saying or what you're saying.
No,
like it's.
I think we all know deep down, right? It'd be nice to live in a world where, like we all know, like what Darko was saying, like it's a good thing. It's a good thing, even though it requires a little effort. I mean, anything that is a good thing does require effort to some degree or another, right? And we all know that deep down. But there's also that aspect of like you're constantly bombarded by like information and news and all this stuff. Yeah. It's like, come on, man.
And so for a minute. And so much everything online at times legit, and at other times I'm like, are you serious? Everything's
crazy,
offensive, bad, sexist, racist.
There's that.
So much of everything, and I'm just like, just give me the dumb movie. Like, I want to watch Just Cause with Vin Diesel.
To yourself, man.
Well, that's different from movies that are just riding the shockwave.
Right.
Being racist just for the sake of being racist.
Right.
Or being offensive for the sake of being offensive. Those are just as passive as Marvel movies.
Does that happen anymore, though? Like, I can't think of a movie I've seen where it was just like...
Shockwave movies?
Yeah. Like,
well, you probably haven't, like, seen... Or you don't seek that kind of content out, right? So,
right.
But sure, they exist. Yeah, 100%. A Serbian movie is a movie that I recommend to no one.
Stay far away from that movie.
Mike, have you seen? Did you watch all? I couldn't.
I will not see it. No, I will not see it.
I saw the first like 10.
Wait,
I was
what?
out.
Explain.
Mike, can you take this? I can't.
Is that the one with the guy and his family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You're welcome, listeners.
How is that?
Here's a synopsis.
There's any and every story ever.
There is a guy, and he has a family.
To go into any more detail is to go mad.
It involves necrophilia, doesn't it?
Whoa!
Yeah.
So, yeah, I those are probably my least favorite movies. Movies that don't know what they're doing. Whether it's in the offensive parameters or just movies that just don't know what they're doing, like Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, that's fair. That movie sucked.
I've not seen it.
That movie sucked.
I refuse to pay for it. I will stream that one.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, that movie sucked.
Yeah. There we go. So.
No,
it didn't suck. It was just there was nothing to it.
It did. Yeah.
I did see it.
Is it better than Apocalypse at least? I mean, because Apocalypse was bad.
It's around that level. I would not put
I think it was worse.
I wouldn't put it worse than The Last Stand, although that was like the funniest review title I read. Being like, somehow it makes The Last Stand a better movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it did, but it was... Throughout that movie, the whole time, I was just like, okay, I actually can't wait for Marvel to get these characters back. Like, if Fox could have kept doing stuff at the... even First Class level, but Days of Futures Past, that was like the last good X-Men movie.
One, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Logan.
Team up movie.
Well, yeah.
Like, last good X-Men
Logan's
team
technically
movie.
not an X-Men movie.
Because Logan, like, there was Logan, there was Deadpool 1, there was Deadpool 2, but, like, all three of those are really solid movies. But they're not, like, an X-Men team-up movie.
Yeah, they're not X-Men
You
movies.
don't need it. You don't need
At some point, we're going to get New Mutants, be it, like, in theaters or just dropping on Disney+. Plus. Or on Hulu, like, because they keep changing the date, changing what... I have no idea what's going on with that movie. How did we get here?
Dark Phoenix.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, it was... That was a case of, at one point, they were planning 2 movies, and then they were basically told, you can't, so then it shows.
You don't have time.
It shows.
It had such potential. Like
It did.
On paper, it sounds like it could be good
Yeah.
if it's executed well.
I was excited. I
On
thought it
on
was
paper,
gonna be the
as it's
revival
been.
of the X-Men.
As it's been on paper in the comics, it was freaking amazing.
Yes.
And then the 90s X-Men cartoon did it greatly. It's all there. How the heck? Come on.
Well, just the problem is they trusted Fox.
Well, to be fair, like, Marvel shot themselves in the foot in the 90s and almost went bankrupt. I can't put that on Fox. I have to put that on.
But I mean...
Hi, Luna. You just want the ball, don't you?
They still could have made their movies better.
Hello.
He just wants to lick Darko's face.
I must give kisses while I'm here.
You see her just like look ahead and she side eyes him and goes.
Oh my god,
He's just so beautiful.
He's just like it's like she's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, Godzilla was friggin' amazing. Did any of you guys see it?
I've not seen that.
I listened to your
So
podcast
good.
on it.
Yeah.
What is Thomas Middleditch doing in that movie?
Who?
Thomas Middleditch.
Loki.
Middleston?
No, Tom
Thomas
Hiddleston.
Oh, yeah.
That's Tom Hiddleston. He was in Kong Skull Island, which was like in the 70s.
He's the lead on Silicon Valley.
I don't watch that show.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff with Ben Schwartz.
Oh, okay.
Is he just the guy who's in the trailer who's like one of the people in front of the court? Oh, okay, now I know. What's your question? What is he doing in the
he's
movie?
so like out of place in that movie. Yeah.
Wait, isn't that Ben Schwartz? John Ralphio?
Yeah, so Thomas Middleditch and Ben Schwartz do a lot of do a lot of like comedy stylings together, and they were at Denver Theater Hall.
But I am thinking about the right person, right?
You're
John
thinking of
Ralphio from
yes, Ben.
Okay.
That's Ben Schwartz.
Okay.
There was a lot of people in Godzilla that when you suddenly saw them, I'm like, what the heck? You're here? But they worked.
If you notice somebody in a movie and they take you out of it, then it's not a great movie. It's a red flag.
But
I know what a red flag is.
I'll kind of. I'll kind of disagree with that, only because there's always going to be times where certain people, no matter where they show up, unless like Dolph Lundgren, if he shows up anywhere except for Rocky and an Expendables movie, he's always going to draw attention.
Exactly.
But I like Dolph Lundgren.
You're saying the word wrong. It's pronounced dolphin. It's an animal. I don't do movies.
Some in the ocean.
Yeah, they do. Flipper, come on.
Well, like that. What was it? Lundgren, you said?
Dolph Lundgren.
It's a hard G.
It's a hard G. But like, no, seriously, isn't it?
Lundgren.
Yeah, it's G, right?
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Be sure to come back next week for the second part of a conversation with 5 friends. Hope you enjoy. Have a wonderful day, and God bless my friends. Take care.